They called it the worst abuse of a boxing legend's potential. Michael Nunn, the slick southpaw who once ruled the middleweight division, supposedly threw away his entire legacy in a single moment. But this story isn't about the worst abuse of anything. It's about one of boxing's greatest redemption tales, hidden beneath years of misunderstanding. The truth is, Michael's second to Nunn's journey isn't the simple tale of destruction everyone thinks they know. Yes, he faced a crushing 24-year prison sentence for drug trafficking, but calling this a split-second decision that ruined everything misses the real story completely. This is actually about a man whose incredible boxing talent earned him a place among the sport's all-time greats. What most people don't realize is that Nunn's legacy wasn't destroyed at all. In 2025, Michael Nunn was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame. That's the highest honor any boxer can receive. The boxing world looked at his entire story and decided his achievements were so remarkable that they deserved recognition among the sport's greatest legends. Born on April 14, 1963 in Louisville, Mississippi, Nunn moved to Davenport, Iowa as a child. His amateur record speaks for itself, 168 wins and just 8 losses. He won 3 Iowa Golden Gloves titles and established himself as one of the country's top amateur fighters. Here's something that shows just how good Nunn was. During the 1984 Olympic trials, U.S. boxing officials asked him to move up from 156 pounds to 165 pounds to clear the way for Frank Tate, who they were promoting as the next great middleweight. Tate would go on to win Olympic gold, but the last person to defeat Tate was Michael Nunn himself. Even the officials knew Nunn was the better fighter. When Nunn turned professional in 1984, he dominated. He built a perfect record of 30 wins and 0 losses, showing a style that boxing experts called smooth and technical. His southpaw stance confused opponents, and his fluid movement made him look like he was dancing while throwing devastating punches. The moment that changed everything came on July 28, 1988, at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas. Nunn faced the undefeated IBF middleweight champion Frank Tate. This time, there would be no moving up in weight classes. Nunn stopped Tate in the 9th round, becoming the IBF middleweight champion of the world. The victory was so impressive that KO magazine named him Fighter of the Year. When he returned to Davenport, Iowa, the city threw him a hero's welcome with a parade. He had become the first world champion from his hometown. As champion, Nunn made statement after statement. His reign included 5 successful title defenses, each one showcasing why he was considered one of the best technical boxers in the world. His southpaw style was described as slick, and his overall approach as smooth and so technical. The knockout that really put Nunn on the map happened on March 25, 1989. He faced Sumbu Kalambai and knocked him out in the first round with such perfect technique that Ring Magazine named it Knockout of the Year. This victory also earned him the vacant lineal middleweight championship, making him the undisputed best middleweight in the world. After that knockout, boxing writers included Nunn in conversations about the sport's top pound-for-pound fighters. He proved this status with impressive victories over former world champions Iran Barkley and Marlon Starling, both won by majority decision. He also scored a 10th round knockout of Donald Curry in France. His record, 36 wins and 0 losses. Then came the first setback. On May 10, 1991, Nunn faced young James Toney in his hometown. For 10 rounds, Nunn looked dominant, ahead on all scorecards. But in the 11th round, Toney landed a thunderous left hook that led to a TKO loss. For the first time in his professional career, Michael Nunn had been beaten. What many people didn't realize was that this boxing defeat had nothing to do with his later legal troubles. Nunn responded like a true champion. He moved up to super middleweight and in September 1992 won the WBA world title with a split decision over Victor Cordoba. He proved it was no fluke by winning the rematch unanimously. Even after his first defeat, Nunn came back and captured another world championship. Nunn defended his super middleweight title 4 times before losing it to Steve Little in February 1994. He continued fighting until 2002, winning the NABF light heavyweight title in 1997. His final professional fight was a victory on January 23, 2002. What the boxing world would later learn was that during his championship years, starting around 1993, Nunn was living a double life. While dazzling crowds with his boxing skills, he was also involved in criminal activities. This wasn't something that developed after his career ended. According to court testimony, his involvement in drug trafficking began while he was still a reigning world champion. On August 6, 2002, 7 months after his final fight, Nunn was arrested at a hotel in Davenport, Iowa, after paying an undercover federal agent for cocaine. In May 2003, he pleaded guilty to conspiracy to distribute cocaine. The sentence shocked everyone. 292 months in federal prison, more than 24 years. This harsh sentence wasn't based just on that single transaction. The judge considered what prosecutors called Nunn's long history of drug trafficking. During the sentencing hearing, witnesses testified about criminal activity dating back to 1993, just 1 year after he had won his second world title. Nunn accepted responsibility for the 2002 drug purchase. Nunn credited faith and family with helping him survive the ordeal. He expressed genuine gratitude for his life and showed humility that hadn't been present during his boxing career. This wasn't the same man who had entered prison in 2004. When Nunn was released in 2019, he didn't hide from his past. He gave interviews and participated in boxing events, speaking candidly about his experiences. More importantly, he expressed a desire to give back. He became involved with the American Boxing Association, working to help underprivileged kids. While some former fighters dream of comebacks, Nunn showed remarkable wisdom. He considered participating in exhibitions, but ultimately recognized reality. He wasn't a deluded fighter who thinks I can hang with these younger guys. This showed the maturity he had developed. The most powerful statement about Michael Nunn's legacy came in 2025, when he was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame. This is the highest achievement any boxer can receive. The induction represented a definitive decision by the boxing community to separate his ring accomplishments from his personal failings. Nunn acknowledged that his incarceration was the primary reason his induction had been delayed. "You can't be incarcerated and be on the Hall of Fame ballot," he explained. His emotional reaction said everything. "Long time coming, and I'm just thankful to be here." This Hall of Fame induction proves that Nunn's legacy was never truly destroyed. It was complicated, suspended for many years, but ultimately restored. The boxing world decided that his achievements in the ring were so significant that they transcended his personal mistakes. Michael Nunn's story is unique among boxers who have faced serious legal troubles. Unlike Mike Tyson, who was convicted at his career peak and made an athletic comeback, Nunn was arrested after his boxing career ended. Unlike Bernard Hopkins, who used boxing to escape a criminal past, Nunn's criminal activities ran parallel to his boxing success. But perhaps that makes his story even more remarkable. Despite everything that happened outside the ring, despite the years in prison, the boxing community ultimately recognized what truly mattered: his incredible talent and achievements as a fighter. The narrative that Michael Nunn destroyed his career with a single bad decision is simply wrong. His career was built on years of dedication, training, and natural ability that made him one of the most technically gifted boxers of his generation. Yes, he made serious mistakes. Yes, he paid a heavy price. But his boxing legacy proved stronger than any of that. Today, Michael Nunn stands as proof that redemption is possible. His journey from champion to prisoner to Hall of Fame inductee shows that while our mistakes have consequences, they don't have to define us forever. His technical mastery, championship heart, and ability to transform himself contribute to a legacy that is complex but ultimately inspiring. The man they once called second to, Nunn proved that his greatest victory wasn't any championship fight. It was the fight he won against his own demons, the transformation he achieved in prison, and the grace with which he accepted both his punishment and eventual redemption. Michael Nunn's legacy wasn't destroyed by a split-second decision. It was temporarily complicated by a double life that caught up with him. But in 2025, when he walked across that stage to accept his Hall of Fame induction, his legacy was exactly where it belonged, among the greatest technical boxers in the sport's history. That's not the story of career destruction. That's the story of ultimate redemption.